Ew. How's it going, everybody? Rip pink cardigan, right? Anyways, I think I found my next stopping point, and it's a much shorter distance from my last stopping point than from the beginning to my first stopping point. But I just sort of am following the same intuition that I've done with my last book. Synopsis. And this is where I stopped. It says, tell your story even if you think no one is listening. Live your life like you might be gone tomorrow. Be so unapologetically you that they can't help but wonder how they've lived so long without doing the same. Run free like the wild has something to lose. Stop to catch your breath because the perfect storm is still trying to catch up. And don't you see? No one else is the hero here because it has always been you. And I actually felt quite a bit from most specifically the part, where she said, run free like the wild has something to lose. It's like, what if there was something in the lead? But maybe the lead is just the feeling. It's the totality of everything that we can't separate anything from. And maybe that's like the feeling that everything's new, but then also everything's been done because you have all that you need. And in that place you can run. And in that place, even the wild is free. Because we like to say what the wild is, like it's everything barbaric and untamed, but isn't that sort of understood even? Shouldn't true wilderness be nothing to blame? So maybe the point in which we can feel like all of this time actually has some true lead. And I think there's a few things that we can sort of come to think of when we think of if time itself had some lead, some leading edge, something that we could be first with. After all, if we were the first and in front of everything, what does that induce? Is it like stage fright? Is it being barren? Is it like being a goose? Or how about a moose? But, I mean, that part really hits hard. Because maybe it's just being you. And again, it's almost like, I'm hitting some structure here, just digging deeper into the words and ever following my nose into this winding maze of words. Because I know that just a few sessions ago, I spoke about, being the first of you. And here we see it again. And the poem then goes on to state, and don't you see, no one else is the hero here because it has always been you. He is the hero! You guys remember that? There was something else that kind of caught my eye as I was reading that I was like, man, this sounds so familiar. I'll find it. I drew pictures that were larger than life and folded paper cranes with hands that set them free whenever they were ready. I still wonder all the places they have gone, but I'm pretty sure I'll see them again soon, because they flew south for the winter and spring is right around the corner. At that moment, I almost feel like, you know what? It's like we try to typeface all of this language that we have, but it just sounds so familiar to where I said Italo Calvino just sounded like he was speaking to himself, but he does it so well that you wouldn't be able to determine whether he was doing that or not. Because in that part right there where she speaks, you know, I could understand, and even still I can hear them call my name. Or because they flew south for winter and spring is right around the corner. Just like, it gives a reason, but the reason only satisfies you because it sounds poetic. It sounds just. Like all things relate, and all you're doing is just sort of twisting this relation. And how could a thing that sounds so pleasant and fulfilling be seen as something that is unsightly? My bedroom was one part jungle and one part African safari, depending on the time of day. The lions spoke a language only I could understand, and even still, I can hear them call my name. And I don't know if you recall this, but that one day where I got into the stream here and talked about basically, you know, just telling somebody else what they were doing was enough to show that I was doing something. It's like being an active listener in a conversation. That point in time when you say, yeah, you're listening and you say, yeah, or you repeat something they just said. I agree. And that's almost like hitting the ball. All life is a conversation. And sometimes saying something is enough. Now again, all these loose ends, which one am I going to grab a hold of here to see if I can extend the line? I could speak. Can you see it? Did you see the fish? More about the idea of being in front of everything. Or this idea of why, when all language seems genuine, it seems to say the same thing. Or I could say, like what I said before, how life always recognizes another life. Words themselves sometimes are satisfactory. Or I could say something that my philosophy professor would say. He wouldn't say my name to me. He has no idea what it is. He only knows the names of, like, the teenage girls in class. For whatever reason. He would just look at every other man like he was crazy. We were all fallen or something like that. And just say, well, what does that mean? Like we weren't saying anything every time. Like there's more to meaning somehow. The word itself could hide something, per se. How does it act? How does it play? What does that mean? What does it do? Does that change anything? Is it something new? Making words seem like fluff. The only thing that's real is particulate chemistry and elements and stuff. Technology is leading edge. Something we can prove to everybody. Can you still be cold by saying the truth never gives up? Or is that a hot way of looking at it? A real hot take, as they would say today. Instead of saying the cold way, you can't handle the truth. Or I prefer an explanation over emotions. Is there still no way of proving anything to anybody about being? Maybe you can't connect with everybody, but have you guys noticed what I do sometimes in my videos to give them closure? Is I issue a warning, a cautionary tale. Something that I feel will connect with most people if they themselves are to any extent real. Something that would happen to anybody. And would somehow seem to be telling to somebody that there are some things that are inescapable. Because then I've just changed everything. Because initially they were being the ones to instigate this idea of inescapability with reality. But what if I also say that I am aware of it? Have I just changed my attitude? Have I become something that you thought I couldn't do? Maybe I agree with you. But you see, there is some sort of mastery It almost feels like a Sunday up here right now. I haven't had that feeling in a long time. Especially when I've been on my own schedule. Look, there are the fish again. like everything that I've been saying is reasonable. Especially when you hear just how creative everybody else is. Maybe I won't issue a warning at the end of this plea. Maybe I'll offer a chance, offer some hope. You could be creative one day, but it will take a lot of work.